Happiness is often seen as something you need to chase after, something elusive that you must actively pursue and capture. But in reality, happiness is not something you go out and get. It's not a distant destination you finally reach after climbing a long, tiring mountain. Instead, happiness is something you attract through the way you live your life, the way you think, and the actions you take each day. It's not about striving for it in the traditional sense. It's about becoming the type of person who naturally invites happiness into their life, who attracts it through their choices and attitudes. You see, many people spend their lives chasing happiness, thinking that once they have the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect amount of wealth, they will finally be happy. But that's a flawed approach, because when you constantly chase happiness, you end up running in circles, constantly seeking more and more external validation or achievements that don't ultimately satisfy you. You're always looking for something outside of yourself to make you feel complete. The truth is, happiness starts from within. It's about creating the right internal conditions to allow happiness to flourish. Think about it this way. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, when you grow emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, you automatically attract happiness. It's a natural byproduct of personal development. The key is to invest in yourself. When you develop your skills, deepen your understanding, and become more self-aware, you begin to cultivate an internal sense of fulfillment. And that's when happiness starts to follow you. You can't force happiness into your life by achieving certain milestones, whether that's a promotion, a new car, or a bigger house. Those things might bring temporary joy, but the happiness they provide is fleeting. True happiness is about creating a life where you feel content with yourself, where you're at peace with your decisions, and where you appreciate the little things that often go unnoticed. It's about finding satisfaction in the present moment, regardless of what's happening around you or what you don't have yet. The key to attracting happiness is learning to be grateful for what you already have. The more you appreciate the present moment and the blessings you have right now, the more you invite happiness into your life. Gratitude is a powerful force. When you focus on the positive things in your life, you start to attract more of them. It's a law of attraction that works every time. The happier you feel with what you have, the more you'll realize that happiness isn't dependent on acquiring more things. It's about changing your perspective. Furthermore, the relationships you build play a huge role in attracting happiness. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, inspire you, and encourage you to become better. Avoid those who drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. Happiness thrives in an environment where love, support, and positivity are abundant. Choose your companions wisely, and remember that the energy you put into relationships comes back to you. If you're a person who radiates positivity, love, and gratitude, you'll naturally attract those kinds of relationships, which will in turn lead to greater happiness. Another key factor in attracting happiness is developing a mindset of abundance. Too often, people focus on what they lack, constantly measuring their success against others. This mindset of scarcity can rob you of your joy. Instead, shift your focus to what you have and all the opportunities available to you. Embrace the belief that there is more than enough to go around for everyone, and that your success doesn't take away from anyone else. When you adopt an abundant mindset, you stop competing and start collaborating. And that collaboration with the universe brings even more happiness. Finally, remember that happiness is not a constant state. Life is a series of ups and downs, and there will always be challenges. But your ability to remain grounded in your internal sense of peace and joy, regardless of what's going on externally, is what truly attracts happiness. When you have the inner strength to find calm in the chaos and to maintain your happiness despite external circumstances, you become a magnet for positive energy. You become someone who can weather any storm and still come out smiling. Happiness is not something you have to go out and find. It's something you can attract by cultivating the right mindset, nurturing positive relationships, and focusing on your personal growth. When you do these things, happiness will naturally come to you. It's about being the type of person who is content and grateful, who chooses joy regardless of circumstances, and who attracts the good things that life has to offer. So stop chasing happiness. Instead, start living in such a way that happiness becomes an inevitable outcome. Many people believe that success is the key to happiness. They think that once they achieve a certain level of success in their careers, finances, or personal lives, they will be happy. However, this is a misconception. Success alone does not guarantee happiness. In fact, many successful individuals can attest to the fact that achieving their goals did not automatically bring them the fulfillment they had hoped for. It's the process of personal growth and continuous development that leads to true happiness, not the external markers of success. When you focus solely on achieving external success, you're putting all your energy into something that is not entirely within your control. Yes, hard work and determination are essential, but external circumstances, timing, and even luck play a role in success. You can't always predict or control when things will fall into place. And when you base your happiness solely on success, you're setting yourself up for frustration and disappointment if things don't unfold as expected. On the other hand, personal growth is something you have direct control over. You can always work on improving yourself, whether it's gaining new skills, developing emotional intelligence, expanding your knowledge, or becoming more self-aware. Growth is something that is entirely in your hands, and it's an ongoing process. There is no finish line when it comes to personal development. It's a lifelong journey, and it's this journey that brings satisfaction, purpose, and ultimately happiness. As you grow as a person, you begin to develop a deeper understanding of who you are, what you want, and what truly matters to you. This understanding creates a sense of fulfillment that external achievements simply can't provide. The more you improve yourself, the more you realize that happiness doesn't come from acquiring things or reaching specific goals. It comes from the sense of accomplishment that arises when you know you're becoming the best version of yourself. That's the real reward, the internal satisfaction that comes with growth. Furthermore, personal growth gives you resilience. Life is filled with challenges and setbacks, and if you tie your happiness to success, these challenges can leave you feeling defeated. But when you focus on growth, you develop the mental and emotional strength to handle adversity. You learn how to bounce back from failures and setbacks with a sense of determination and optimism. Growth makes you adaptable, and that adaptability gives you the confidence to face whatever life throws your way. And when you approach life with this mindset, you not only find happiness in the process of growth, but you also find joy in the journey, regardless of the outcome. Additionally, personal growth expands your horizons and opens up new opportunities. The more you learn and grow, the more possibilities you see for yourself. You become more aware of your potential and the potential around you. Success starts to feel less like something you're chasing and more like something that comes naturally as a result of your personal development. It's not about the pursuit of external rewards, but the inner satisfaction that comes from knowing you are constantly evolving. This mindset shift is liberating. You stop focusing on what you don't have or haven't achieved yet, and you start appreciating how far you've come and how much more you're capable of achieving in the future. The process of personal growth also allows you to live with intention. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, constantly chasing after the next big goal or milestone. But personal growth helps you slow down and evaluate what's truly important. It teaches you how to align your actions with your values and long-term vision, instead of getting distracted by short-term rewards or superficial successes. When you live with intention, you feel a deep sense of purpose, which is a key ingredient for happiness. Purpose gives you direction, focus, and motivation, and it brings a sense of fulfillment that external success alone cannot provide. Moreover, happiness doesn't come from simply achieving your goals. It comes from the person you become in the process. The growth, the lessons learned, the challenges overcome, and the strength developed along the way are what give true meaning to your achievements. You don't just celebrate the success itself. You celebrate the fact that you've become a stronger, wiser, and more capable person through your effort. And when you approach life this way, happiness becomes a natural outcome of your growth. In conclusion, success is often seen as the ultimate goal, but it is personal growth that truly leads to happiness. It is not the destination that brings fulfillment, but the journey of becoming the best version of yourself. When you focus on developing yourself, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, you invite a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and satisfaction into your life. These qualities are the foundation of happiness, and they are far more lasting than any external success. The key to true happiness lies in continuous self-improvement and embracing the process of growth, knowing that it is through growth that you attract the joy, peace, and contentment you seek. Life is not something that simply happens to you. It's something you have the power to shape. Too often, people go through life reacting to circumstances, letting the events and challenges they face dictate their path. But a successful and fulfilling life doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. It's about being intentional with your decisions, your actions, and the way you approach each area of your life. When you take charge of your life's design, you create a life that's meaningful, aligned with your values, and filled with purpose. Happiness, then, is not something that is out of your reach. It's something that is created by the choices you make every single day. The first step in designing your life is identifying what you truly want. Too many people go through life without ever asking themselves what they really want to achieve or experience. Instead, they get caught up in other people's expectations, societal pressures, or the pursuit of external markers of success. But when you live according to the desires and goals of others, you are not designing your own life. You are simply following a path that doesn't necessarily align with your true self. To create a life worth living, you need to take the time to reflect on what you truly value, what you're passionate about, and what will bring you the most fulfillment. When you are clear on what you want, you can begin to design your life in a way that reflects those values and desires. The second aspect of designing your life is taking responsibility for it. Life is not about waiting for things to happen or hoping for circumstances to change. It's about taking proactive steps toward the life you want. This means acknowledging that you are in control of your future and that your decisions today will shape the outcome of your life tomorrow. While you can't control everything, there will always be unpredictable events or circumstances outside your control. You have the power to choose how you respond. Taking responsibility means recognizing that the choices you make, from how you spend your time to who you surround yourself with, have a profound impact on the kind of life you lead. When you take full responsibility, you empower yourself to make positive changes and design a life that reflects your aspirations. Once you're clear on what you want, and you take responsibility for creating it, the next step is setting goals. Goals are the roadmap that guides you on your journey. Without clear goals, it's easy to drift aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes your way, without any real sense of direction. But when you set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, you have a clear path forward. These goals should align with your values and what you truly want from life. It's important to break down large goals into smaller actionable steps so that you can track your progress and stay motivated along the way. Each small success will build momentum, reinforcing the belief that you are capable of creating the life you desire. While setting goals is important, it's equally essential to develop the habits and discipline that will make those goals a reality. It's not enough to simply dream about a better life. You must be willing to put in the work. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. Whether it's committing to your personal development, working on your health, or building meaningful relationships, it's the small daily actions that will move you closer to the life you want to create. The ability to stick to your plan, even when it gets difficult, is what separates those who design a life of fulfillment from those who merely wish for it. Building strong habits and staying disciplined is crucial to seeing real change in your life. In designing a life worth living, it's also important to surround yourself with the right people. You become like the people you spend the most time with, so it's essential to choose your relationships wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and support you in your journey. These people will elevate you and provide the encouragement and motivation you need to keep moving forward. Conversely, negative or toxic relationships can drain your energy and hinder your progress. By choosing to invest in relationships that nourish your soul, you create an environment that fosters growth and happiness. Another key element in designing a life worth living is learning to embrace change. Life is constantly evolving, and while it's important to have a plan, it's equally important to remain flexible. Opportunities and challenges will arise that you can't predict, and sometimes your plans will need to be adjusted. Embrace these moments as opportunities for growth. Life is not a straight path, but rather a journey with many twists and turns. When you learn to navigate change with resilience and a positive mindset, you are better able to adapt and continue moving forward in the direction of your dream. Ultimately, designing a life worth living is about aligning your actions with your values, setting clear goals, and taking responsibility for the life you want to create. It's about being intentional in how you live each day and recognizing that the power to shape your future is in your hands. When you take control of your life, you create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and filled with purpose. And that is where true happiness lies, not in waiting for it to come to you, but in designing a life that naturally attracts. Discipline is often considered a difficult concept to grasp, but it's one of the most powerful tools we have for achieving lasting success and happiness. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of starting new ventures or setting big goals, but without the discipline to stay the course, those ambitions are likely to remain unfulfilled. Discipline, in its simplest form, is about making choices that align with your long-term goals, even when those choices are difficult or inconvenient in the moment. It's about showing up for yourself consistently, no matter how tempting it may be to take shortcuts or indulge in distraction. The true power of discipline lies in its ability to transform small daily actions into significant long-term results. In the beginning, it may feel like discipline is a burden or a limitation, but over time, you'll come to realize that it's actually a source of freedom. Discipline is what enables you to move from where you are to where you want to be. It's what allows you to pursue your goals with focus and consistency without getting sidetracked by obstacles or setbacks. Think about it. If you don't have discipline, you'll spend most of your time reacting to circumstances, living in a state of uncertainty and indecision. But when you have discipline, you're able to prioritize your time, energy, and resources toward what matters most. You make conscious choices that align with your values and vision, and you stay committed to those choices even when the going gets tough. One of the most powerful ways discipline impacts your life is by preventing regret. It's easy to let short-term temptations or distractions derail you from your long-term goals. You may tell yourself that a little indulgence or a minor deviation from your plan won't hurt, but over time, these small lapses can add up, and the consequences can be significant. You might find yourself looking back at your life with a sense of regret, wishing you had worked harder, stayed focused, or made better decisions. Regret is a heavy burden to carry, and it's often the result of a lack of discipline. When you consistently choose actions that align with your long-term goals, you avoid this sense of regret. Discipline ensures that you stay true to your commitments and avoid the trap of procrastination or self-sabotage. Discipline also plays a critical role in building self-confidence. When you commit to a goal and take consistent action toward it, even in the face of challenges, you begin to develop trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on your promises, every time you resist the temptation to quit, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do.
This builds momentum, and the more confident you become, the easier it is to maintain discipline. It creates a positive cycle where discipline fuels confidence, and confidence further strengthens your discipline. As this cycle continues, you'll find that you're able to take on bigger challenges and set even more ambitious goals because you trust yourself to stay disciplined and follow through. Another way discipline fosters happiness is by giving you a sense of control over your life. When you are disciplined, you are no longer at the mercy of your emotions or external circumstances. You take control of your actions, which in turn helps you take control of your results. The more control you have over your actions, the more empowered you feel. This sense of empowerment is incredibly fulfilling, and it directly contributes to your overall happiness. Instead of feeling like life is something that just happens to you, you feel like you are actively shaping your future. This feeling of agency and autonomy is one of the key components of happiness. Discipline is also a key factor in overcoming adversity. Life is filled with challenges, some big, some small, and without discipline, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, disciplined people are able to push through obstacles because they have the mental toughness to stay committed to their goal. Discipline provides the resilience you need to keep moving forward, even when things get difficult. It's about understanding that setbacks are part of the process, and that failure is not a reason to quit, but rather an opportunity to learn and grow. When you cultivate discipline, you develop the ability to persevere through tough times, which makes you stronger and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Ultimately, discipline is the foundation of all success and happiness. It's the key to transforming your dreams into reality, to turning your goals into achievements. Without discipline, it's easy to fall into the trap of wishing and hoping without taking any meaningful action. But with discipline, you create the structure and consistency needed to make your aspirations come to life. Discipline is not just about doing the right things, it's about doing the right things at the right time, consistently and without fail. It's about choosing the hard thing in the moment, because you know that the long-term rewards will far outweigh the temporary discomfort. The results of disciplined action, whether it's in your health, relationships, career, or personal development, are immeasurable. In the end, discipline doesn't just lead to success, it leads to a life of fulfillment and happiness. It's the quiet power that enables you to stay focused, to push through challenges, and to build the life you want. So when you feel tempted to take the easy road, remember that discipline is what will ultimately bring you the peace of mind and happiness you're seeking. Discipline today leads to the life you desire tomorrow.
Gratitude is one of the most powerful and transformative forces we can experience. It's easy to overlook in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But when you take the time to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, it has the power to change everything. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already present. And this simple change in perspective can have a profound impact on your happiness and overall well-being. The beauty of gratitude is that it is always available to you, no matter your circumstances. It's not contingent on your success or the state of your environment. It's something you can practice daily, regardless of what's happening around you. And the more you practice it, the more naturally it becomes, ultimately leading to a more positive and fulfilling life. One of the most significant benefits of gratitude is that it rewires your brain to focus on the positive. Human beings are naturally wired to notice problems, challenges, and what's wrong in our lives. It's part of our survival instinct to be alert to danger or discomfort. While this is essential in certain situations, it often leads to a mindset that magnifies negativity. This can create a cycle of stress, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. However, when you actively practice gratitude, you begin to shift your focus. You intentionally seek out the things you're thankful for, no matter how small they might seem, whether it's a kind word from a friend, the warmth of the sun on your face, or a quiet moment of peace. Gratitude encourages you to recognize and appreciate these blessings. Over time, this shift in focus rewires your brain to notice more of the good in your life, making it easier to maintain a positive outlook even in difficult situations. Gratitude also helps you stay grounded in the present moment. So often we find ourselves caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. We chase after what's next, constantly looking for the next achievement or milestone to bring us happiness. But true fulfillment comes from embracing the present moment. And gratitude is one of the most effective ways to do this. When you practice gratitude, you're forced to slow down and reflect on the things you have right now. This appreciation for the present moment allows you to experience life more fully, without getting lost in a never-ending cycle of striving and discontent. It reminds you that happiness isn't something that you'll find in the future. It's something that exists right here, right now, in the small moments and simple pleasures. Another profound benefit of gratitude is that it strengthens relationships. When you express gratitude to others, it fosters a sense of connection and mutual respect. A simple thank you can go a long way in building trust and reinforcing the bond between you and those around you. Gratitude makes people feel seen and appreciated, and it creates a positive cycle where kindness and generosity are reciprocated. In relationships, whether with friends, family, or colleagues, gratitude helps you focus on the positive aspects of others, rather than getting caught up in their flaws or shortcomings. This not only deepens your connection with others, but also creates a more harmonious and supportive environment. The act of showing gratitude in your relationships invites more positivity and love into your life. In addition to strengthening relationships, gratitude also has a powerful effect on your health. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience lower levels of stress and anxiety, improved sleep quality, and even better physical health. When you focus on the good in your life, your body responds by releasing positive hormones that reduce stress and promote feelings of well-being. Gratitude also encourages a sense of emotional resilience, helping you cope better with challenges and setbacks. When you're able to maintain a sense of gratitude even in tough times, you develop the strength to navigate difficult situations with a clearer mind and a more positive attitude. This emotional resilience plays a key role in maintaining your health, as stress is a major contributor to many physical and mental health issues. Gratitude is also an antidote to negativity. In a world that often emphasizes competition, comparison, and scarcity, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you're not enough, or that you don't have enough. However, when you practice gratitude, you focus on abundance rather than lack. You realize that there is always something to be thankful for, no matter your circumstances. This mindset shift helps to quiet the inner critic and the negative thoughts that can hold you back. Instead of focusing on what you don't have or what you wish was different, gratitude reminds you of what is good and valuable in your life. This shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance opens up new possibilities and opportunities for growth, both personally and professionally. Finally, gratitude has the power to create lasting happiness. Happiness is not a permanent state. It ebbs and flows depending on our circumstances, thoughts, and experiences. However, practicing gratitude increases your baseline level of happiness. It doesn't eliminate the challenges and hardships of life, but it helps you navigate them with a more positive and resilient mindset. Gratitude enables you to appreciate what you have, and this appreciation creates a sense of fulfillment that doesn't rely on external circumstances. The more you practice gratitude, the more you invite happiness into your life, because you learn to find joy in the present moment, in the small wins, and in the everyday blessings that are often taken for granted. In conclusion, gratitude is a powerful tool for happiness and well-being. It has the ability to transform the way you think, feel, and experience life. By practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's already here. And in doing so, you attract more positivity, abundance, and happiness into your life. Gratitude strengthens relationships, improves health, and builds resilience, all while fostering a deeper connection to the present moment. It's a practice that anyone can cultivate, and the rewards are immeasurable. So take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. The simple act of acknowledging your blessings will transform your life in ways you never imagined. We live in a world that constantly urges us to keep striving, to keep pushing forward, to set higher goals, and to achieve more. While ambition is important and growth is necessary for personal development, it's equally essential to understand that happiness does not lie solely in what you achieve, but rather in how you experience the journey of life itself. The pursuit of happiness is often framed as something external, finding the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect lifestyle. But in reality, happiness is a state of mind, a choice, and a skill that can be cultivated through daily practice. The key to true fulfillment lies in how we view ourselves, our circumstances, and the world around us. One of the most significant shifts you can make in your life is the decision to stop waiting for happiness to come to you. So many people live their lives as if happiness is a destination that they'll arrive at once they've achieved enough, accumulated enough, or fixed all the problems in their lives. They think that when the right job comes along or when they have enough money, then they'll be. However, this mindset places your happiness in the future, and the future is always just out of reach. When you live with the belief that happiness is something you will get when certain conditions are met, you often spend your life feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled, waiting for an elusive promise. True happiness comes from the decision to embrace and appreciate the present moment. It comes from being content with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't have goals or work toward improving your life. In fact, personal growth is essential to feeling fulfilled. But it does mean that you need to find a way to enjoy the process, rather than focusing solely on the end result. Happiness is about experiencing life in a way that allows you to feel grateful for the small moments, the challenges, the lessons, and the opportunities to grow. A crucial part of this mindset shift is learning to appreciate your own efforts and progress. Too many people are quick to criticize themselves for not being further along in life, not achieving enough, or not meeting their own expectations. However, when you focus too much on what you haven't yet accomplished, you miss the beauty and satisfaction of what you've already done. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. Each challenge you overcome, every obstacle you face, and all the progress you make are part of the journey toward becoming the person you are meant to be. By recognizing and appreciating these moments, you shift your mindset from one of frustration and scarcity to one of abundance and fulfillment. You begin to see the value in each step you take, and the progress you're making, even if it's not immediately apparent. Furthermore, happiness thrives when you take control of your thoughts and beliefs. So much of our unhappiness is driven by negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt. The way you think about yourself and the world around you directly impacts how you experience life. When you tell yourself that you're not good enough, not worthy of success, or that you'll never reach your goals, you reinforce a cycle of negativity that keeps you stuck. On the other hand, when you choose to focus on positive thoughts, affirmations, and self-compassion, you begin to shift your perception. You create a mindset that is open to possibilities, solutions, and growth. This doesn't mean that negative thoughts won't arise, but it's about how you respond to them. You have the power to challenge those thoughts, question their validity, and replace them with more empowering belief. For example, instead of thinking "I'll never succeed," shift your thinking to "I may face challenges, but I'm capable of overcoming them." By taking control of your mental narrative, you begin to shift your focus from what you lack to what you already possess: the inner strength, resilience, and potential to create the life you desire. Another critical element in finding happiness is the practice of self-compassion. Life is not perfect, and neither are we. Yet many people are incredibly hard on themselves when things go wrong. They beat themselves up for mistakes, failures, or setbacks, believing that they're not good enough or deserving of happiness. However, the path to true happiness involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Self-compassion allows you to be patient with yourself when you fall short, to forgive yourself for mistakes, and to acknowledge your own humanity. It encourages you to stop comparing yourself to others and to realize that your journey is unique. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself permission to be imperfect, and in doing so, you free yourself from the unrealistic expectations that hold you back from happiness. Building meaningful connections with others is also vital for finding happiness. While we often look for happiness within ourselves, it's important to remember that human beings are social creatures who thrive on connection, love, and support. Strong relationships provide a sense of belonging, understanding, and purpose. When you nurture positive relationships, whether with family, friends, or a community, you create a network of support that helps you navigate life's challenges. Being surrounded by people who encourage you, believe in you, and share your values enhances your sense of joy and fulfillment. Finally, happiness is deeply connected to living a life of purpose. When you have a sense of purpose, whether it's through your work, your passions, or the way you contribute to others' lives, you feel a deeper sense of meaning in everything you do. Purpose gives you a reason to get up every day and take action, and it fuels your inner drive. It also helps you put challenges into perspective. When you have a clear vision of what you're working toward, setbacks become part of the larger picture, and they no longer have the power to derail your sense of happiness. In conclusion, happiness is not something you find in the future or in the attainment of external goals. It is a choice, a mindset, and a practice. By embracing the present moment, appreciating your journey, taking control of your thoughts, practicing self-compassion, fostering meaningful relationships, and living with purpose, you can cultivate lasting happiness in your life. The secret to happiness lies not in waiting for it, but in creating it every day through the way you choose to live. Life is full of challenges, and no one is immune to them. Every person faces setbacks, obstacles, and difficult moments. But what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive is the ability to maintain a positive mindset and keep moving forward. Resilience is the key to overcoming adversity, and it's a trait that anyone can develop. The most successful and fulfilled individuals are not necessarily the ones who never face challenges, but the ones who learn how to rise above them, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Resilience is not just about bouncing back from tough situations. It's about growing stronger through adversity, learning from failures, and continuing to push forward with determination and hope. One of the first steps in cultivating resilience is understanding that failure is not the end of the road. It's simply part of the journey. Everyone fails at some point, whether in relationships, work, or personal goals. Failure is often viewed negatively, as something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is an essential part of growth. It teaches you valuable lessons that success can. When you fail, you are given the opportunity to reflect on what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. Resilience isn't about never failing. It's about how you respond to failure. If you view failure as a learning experience rather than something to be feared, you can approach life with a mindset of curiosity and growth. Instead of letting setbacks define you, use them as stepping stones to move forward with greater wisdom and strength. Another key to resilience is maintaining a sense of purpose, even when things get tough. When you have a clear sense of direction and a strong understanding of why you do what you do, you are more likely to keep pushing through difficult times. A sense of purpose gives you the motivation to persevere, even when the road gets rough. It reminds you that your struggles are not in vain, and that every challenge you face brings you closer to the life you want to create. Purpose provides you with a deeper meaning that transcends temporary setbacks. It's what keeps you going when the going gets tough, and it's what fuels your ability to bounce back from adversity. Alongside purpose, it's also crucial to cultivate a positive mindset. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring the challenges you face, or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It means choosing to focus on the potential for growth, even in the most difficult situations. It's about maintaining a sense of optimism, even when circumstances seem bleak. Resilient people don't allow themselves to be consumed by negativity. They acknowledge their struggles but choose to look for solutions, opportunities, and the silver lining. By training your mind to focus on what you can control and what you can learn from each experience, you begin to build emotional strength and mental toughness that will help you handle life's difficulties with grace. Resilience also requires self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go according to plan. You might feel like you're not good enough,
or that you've somehow failed, but being kind to yourself in the face of adversity is essential for building resilience. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. It's acknowledging that you are human and that it's okay to make mistakes, to feel down, or to face challenge. It's about giving yourself permission to rest, recover, and try again, rather than beating yourself up for not being perfect. The more you practice self-compassion, the more resilient you become, because you learn that setbacks do not define your worth or your ability to. Another important aspect of resilience is building a strong support system. Resilient individuals often don't go through challenges alone. They have a network of people who uplift them, offer encouragement, and provide practical support when needed. Having a support system allows you to share your burdens and lighten your load. When times get tough, being able to reach out to someone for guidance, reassurance, or simply a listening ear can make all the difference. Building strong, positive relationships with others who believe in you and your ability to overcome challenges can help you maintain your resilience during difficult times. You don't have to face adversity alone. There is strength in connection. In addition to a support system, physical and mental well-being also play a key role in resilience. When you take care of your body, you strengthen your ability to cope with stress and recover from adversity. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, sufficient sleep, and relaxation techniques such as meditation or mindfulness can all contribute to building resilience. A healthy body supports a healthy mind, and when you're physically well, you are better equipped to handle the emotional and mental challenges that life throws at you. Taking care of yourself is not a sign of weakness. It's a crucial part of building the strength and endurance you need to overcome obstacles. Ultimately, resilience is about embracing the belief that you can navigate life's challenges, no matter how difficult they may seem. It's about knowing that you have the inner strength to persevere and grow, and that each challenge is an opportunity to learn and evolve. Building resilience doesn't mean avoiding difficulties. It means facing them head-on, with a sense of determination, purpose, and a willingness to keep moving forward. When you develop resilience, you gain the ability to handle adversity with courage, maintain hope in the face of difficulty, and emerge stronger than ever before. The key to building resilience is realizing that you are not defined by your struggles, but by how you respond to them. Challenges will always be a part of life, but with resilience, you can face them with confidence, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength, the mindset, and the resources to overcome it. It's not about being invincible. It's about being able to get back up, no matter how many times you fall. Resilience is the foundation of personal growth, and it's what allows you to turn adversity into triumph.